Good morning. Welcome to another Tech Tuesday. We're going to do another flipped classroom today. Pretty excited about that, and a great lesson for it. It's a lesson we've already kind of covered. This is multiplying decimals with moving the decimal point. So your objective today, it says I can place the decimal point in decimal point multiplication. So all that really means is you can place the decimal point in the correct place value in your product or your answer. Okay. And what you'll see is you'll see a lot of the hops that we've talked about, but we also need to understand what those hops really mean. Okay. We've talked about it a little bit, but we're really going to hit that home today. Okay. So let's dive right in here. So it says you can use what you have learned about patterns and place value to place the decimal point in the product when you multiply two decimals. So look at this. When we multiply 1 times 1/10, anything times 1 is the same. And when we multiply 1/10 times 1/10, it moves it. Like we said, it's a decimal, so it's going to the left. It's getting smaller. How many hops? I see 1 0, 1 hop to the left. Okay. We're doing the same thing with decimals. That's why we do patterns. That's why we've been doing patterns for so long here. Okay. So we'll explain these patterns now. All right. So here's our problem today. A male leopard seal is measured and has a length of 2 8/10 meters. A male elephant seal is about 1.5 times as long. What length is the male elephant? So if we had the female, this is 1.5 times as long. So we're going to take 2 8/10 times 1 5/10. We're going to multiply them together. Okay. So step one, it says multiply these numbers as whole numbers, just like we talked about, guys. We're going to take these decimals away. So instead of 2 8/10, we have 28. Instead of 1 5/10, we have 15. We just one hopped, right? And if we one hop it, it's like multiplying it by, well, we multiplied it by 10 to get it to move. And then to get it to go back, we're going to multiply it by 1/10. Okay, one hop to the right to get it out, one hop to the left. Okay, that's why we've been working patterns. Step two says place the decimal point. All right, so we do all of our work. We take 28 times 15. Look at this. This is two-digit multiplication. 5 times 8 is 40, 0, and you carry your 4. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the little 4 you have up here, you have 14. 0 holds your spot. 1 times 8 is 8, 1 times 2 is 2, and then we add them up. Right now, that's the biggest problem in 5th grade. We don't know how to do two-digit multiplication. So if you're struggling with this, you need to pause it now, and you need to come see me, and you need to do a worksheet before you continue on, okay? If you've got it, then you've got it. But if you're struggling with this right now, pause it now, come see me, and we'll get you going on something different, okay? So basically what this means is you had one hop out on 2 8/10, and you had one hop out on 1 5/10. So that's 2 total hops. So 2 total hops out means 2 total hops in, right? So when we get, let me get over here and to our writing, okay? So if you get 420, we have 2 hops in, right? So that's 4 and 2/10, all right? So it says place the decimal point. So the value of the decimal is, what place value is that? Did we put that decimal to where we had the hundredths? Okay, I'm just going to put an H for hundredths. Okay, because we would say 4 and 20 hundredths. Okay, so the male elephant has, and as we know, I'm going to write it over here so we have a little bit more room. 4 and 20 hundredths. So back to our same rules. However many hops out you take is however many hops in you take. And those hops are the same patterns, guys. They're the patterns we've been working on since day one. If you're hopping out to make the number a whole number, you're multiplying it by a multiple of 10. If you're bringing the decimal back in, you're multiplying it by a tenth or a hundredth, right? Because you're making the number smaller. Okay, so remember those patterns, remember those rules. However many hops out is however many zeros. However many hops in is however many zeros you have there. Now, the rule is much easier than the idea, but you have to understand that when we hop out, we're making the number bigger. So it's however many hops. If it was 1 hop, we'd multiply that by 10. 2 hops is 100. 3 hops is 1,000. And then however many hops back in is that, but we're making it smaller, so it has to be in decimal form. 1 hop would be 1/10. 2 hops would be 1/100th. Okay. All right. So let's turn the page. All right. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. Okay. So, but first it says it wants you to estimate by rounding each factor to the nearest whole number. So we look next door. Here's our whole number, 7. We look next door. 8 tells us to round it up or down. We know 8's a high number, so we're going to round it up. Hold on, let me get this going. So that is 8. We look at 3 and 1. So we look at the 1. The 1 tells us to round it down. So we go 3 times. Okay, so 8 times 3, 8, 16, 24. Okay, so our answer needs to be pretty close to 24. All right, so we're going to look at this number. It's 7/8 times 3 and 12/10. This is the original problem over here. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let me change my color. How many hops out of 3 and 12/10 or 12/100 to make it a whole number? 1 here, 1 here. 2 hops out, right? Okay, so we got 2 hops here and 1 hop here. That's a total of 3 hops. Okay, so we need to remember that. 3 hops out, 3 hops in. Okay, now let's solve. 8 times 2, 16. Carry my 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus the 1, 9. 8 times 3, 24. Hold my spot. Okay. 7 times 2. Hold on, let me erase this. Some of you guys will be confused. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7, plus the 1 is 8. 7 times 3 is 21. Add them up. 6, 13, 14, 3, and 2. Nope, sorry, I messed that one up. It's definitely 4. Oh, I messed it up even further. You guys got it. Wow, it's like a Monday for me, huh? So we got 3. This is an 8, that's why. Okay, sorry guys. So we got 3, 3, 6. So there's our problem. We had 3 hops to make it a whole number, so we got 3 hops in. 1, 2, 3 hops in. So really our answer isn't a big whole number. It is 24 and 336 thousandths. Okay, so however many hops out is that many hops in. Okay. All right, so let's come on down here. Like as I promised, we need to get better and better and better at doing this. And the only way to get better and better at doing this is by you guys doing it on your own. Okay? So here's how today's is going to work. I'm not going to let you move on just at your own pace like I usually do. I want you to complete 1 through 5 on your own here. Okay? You can get a whiteboard. You got plenty of room here. So really, I'd rather you do it on here so I can help you with your work. But if you want to get a whiteboard, you can. But I want you to transfer your information here. I have to be able to see where you're making mistakes. You guys saw me make a mistake this morning. It happens. But I have to be able to see it. Okay? So I want you guys to complete 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Raise your hand. I'm going to check 4 and 5. As soon as 4 and 5 are done and I like them, we'll move you on. If they're not done, we're going to do a little bit of extra work and we'll go from there. Okay? All right. So what we'll do then is if you get that done, then this is all your independent work here. Again, you must show all your work. So after you raise your hand, me and you will look it over. If I like it, we'll move you on. If I don't, we'll work on some extra work. This is all decimal multiplication. Okay? You need to show me how many hops out, do the multiplication, and how many hops in. If you notice, they mess with you a little bit. There's 2 hops here, 1 hop here, a total of 3. Okay, so you really got to watch your hops. That's why I want to see your hops on this page so that I can go, hey, why do you have 3 hops here but only 2 hops in your answer? Okay, it's important. You can check your work that way. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Obviously, probably need to be done on a separate sheet of paper. So make sure you get lined paper, or if you like graph paper, you can do that. And then your 2 word problems. Okay. If you get done early, again, raise your hand. I'll come and check your work. We'll talk about it. We'll see what's what. And then your exit ticket is down here, number 25. We'll talk about that at the end of the day. And then here's your homework, practice and homework 4.7. Okay, so you're going to get tons of practice at this because this is the big one you will see on the test. I want you to have tons of practice. I want you to have tons of time working with these numbers, moving decimals out and back in. Okay, if you have any questions, raise your hand. If not, we're done here. You guys can get started again on page 272, 1 through 5. Make sure you raise your hand so I can check 4 and 5 to move you on. Remember, whatever you don't get done today is homework. So if you get rolling, you'll have less homework. If you kind of dilly-daddle and not get things done, you're going to have quite a bit of homework, okay? Because I want to make sure you're ready for the test on Friday. All right? All right. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I know it was quick and short, but again, this is stuff we've covered for the last couple of days, and I want to get us going, okay? Good luck.